What's going on, guys? This is your boy Random Guy Kev, and this is Thoughts of a Random Guy. We talk about many things dealing with love, dating, relationships, adulting, life's ups and downs, and the ever-evolving world of just being a human. Don't forget to check me out on all your favorite social media platforms at Random Guy Kev and my website at randomguykev.com. Today's topic is relationships. What are relationships? Different things in relationships, but I'm here with my co-host for this episode.
Hey guys, I'm Sam, and I'm excited to talk about this today.
Yeah, so thank you for coming on. And, there's different flavors of relationships. Again, it's, families, friendships, dating relationships. It's different things, but I guess let's talk about the friendship relationship, that dynamic. And for me personally, when it comes to friendships, I don't think you can consider everybody a friend. Everybody is not a friend. Everybody can't be your friend because I don't think if you're both not investing time into the relationship, then is it really a friendship? If it's just one-sided, then can it be considered a friendship? Like sometimes you just know the dynamic of the people around you and you guys, distance of course plays a role in it and how often you guys get to spend time with each other. But at the same time, if both people aren't really putting an effort into building and maintaining the friendship, is it really a friendship? Thoughts?
I think it's a good question, and honestly, a lot of times friendships, all kinds of relationships can sometimes feel like unbalanced, where one person is putting in too much effort or they think too much effort in comparison to the other person, and that's a big thing. Like if you're not willing to put effort into a relationship, then like should you really be a part of it? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, this the same thing applies to when you're dating someone, that's your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife. That's the same thing that applies for that. Like if you're both not putting in the effort, why be in the relationship? Why is the relationship even there?
Yeah, I watched some lady on TikTok actually talk about how relationships are not 50-50, and sometimes they're 70-30, and sometimes it's 30-70, but the ability to like talk about that and be on the same page is so important, especially if you're like dealing with a friend who's maybe like they're distancing themselves because they're going through life. Like that's okay.
Yeah.
But if that friend just ghosts you for the rest of their life and like they don't make the effort to figure out how you're doing even, then I don't know if it's them going through shit or them just really not being your friend.
Yeah, but sometimes we do have those friends that play a designated role in our lives. Like this is my friend I can go to for advice. They can come to me for advice. And, we reciprocate the energy. But other times you have those friends that just use you for what you can provide to them.
Oh, yeah. I used to have this friendship where this girl would just call me to like tell me the negative parts of her life. And I didn't realize that that was happening until like I felt like weird when I would get off the phone, and I was starting to think about why, and I realized that it was just every time she called me was to tell me about all the negative shit that was going on in her life. And not that like give me positivity, but really like it became a habit for her. And so our conversations were just negative thought and negative talk. There was no like resolution, there was no advice given, and it
was
felt
just her
like,
venting.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm not your therapist, like we're friends. And I didn't feel like her friend. I didn't feel like I could ever say what was on my mind. She never asked me for advice. It was just a vent, and that didn't really feel fair.
So she really just called you, spilled her brain and thoughts out to you, and then kind of said, okay, hope you have a great day, bye.
Exactly. Sometimes there would even be like well, that's enough about me. How about you? What are you doing? And I was like, you don't care. Like, and it's fine you don't care, but like, don't do that. Don't play.
Yeah. No, that's the weird thing about, certain friendship dynamics. It's like you guys kind of establish what it is, but then sometimes the dynamic shifts, and the person doesn't. They rather just use you for what you can provide to them and how you make them feel at the end of the day, and then it's just like that energy isn't reciprocated towards you and asking you like, yo, like genuinely, like how are you feeling? But sometimes when you're reaching out to people, I think the first thing you should ask, like, especially if you're gonna vent, hey, do you have the mental capacity to handle this today? Because I have a lot to say and I don't want to invade your space with my negative energy right now. But I just need someone to vent to.
That's a really good preface. And everybody has that boundary, right? Everybody's living life. So it's really important to ask that question because, like, sometimes people aren't ready to receive what you have to say. And that's okay. Like, not everyone can be there for you at the moment that you need them. But, like, being able to ask, like, hey, could we talk about this? Can I offload? That's really important.
I mean, sometimes you don't do that. I mean, we all don't, just, hey, can I offload on you? Sometimes we don't do that. I mean, in some cases, I don't, like, when I'm in a moment and I have the right friend, I can just,
you flow.
Everything is just exploding because I barely share my feelings.
Yeah.
And when I do, it's like, damn, Kevin's really feeling it.
I don't know. I kind of feel that way with, like, my East Coast friends that, like, you just kind of start off that way. I don't know. Like, it's a joke. Like, what is it? Like, let me tell you what happened or something like that. Like, it's just so natural, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I feel you 100%. It's like, again, is it really a relationship at the end of the day?
Yeah.
That friendship relationship, or is this person really more of an acquaintance than anything?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things that we all have to figure out our friendship dynamics with the people around us. Because me personally, I have friend circles, and my relationship with those people are different for each circle. I have my people I can hit up any day of the week, and they got me. And like, then I can't hit up these other people because I know they're not down for these particular things. I know who my travel friends are. I know who are my non-travel friends. I know who my party friends are. It's just having those circles and going from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that though, because I think sometimes people get caught up in this idea of relationships where, like, even if it's a friendship or like a romantic relationship, I feel like some people get caught up in this idea that, like, that person will be everything for us.
Mm-hmm,
like, they're gonna be our travel buddy, our dance partner, our wedding date, our fucking travel buddy. Like, but that's not real. Like, people can't be everything, and it's good that you have these groups because you identified, like, okay, I could go do this with these people, but then if I need to go talk about something serious, I might talk to these people instead, and it doesn't leave you feeling like you don't have that option if you need it.
Yeah. And then, so let's hop into the, girlfriend, boyfriend, married couple type of thing. When it comes to those relationships, I feel like their perception of social media for what a relationship is different, and people don't make their own perception of it. People just, okay, social media said this is what a relationship is, I should go with this or I should go with that, and this is how I should be treated, this is how I should treat them. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Why are you listening to social media?
Dude, even if it's not social media, like, my parents, for example, have an opinion on how I should, like, navigate my relationship. And I'm like, it's not yours to have or to navigate. Like, it's mine. And I just feel like people are so verbal about their opinions of relationships when really a relationship is between you and another person.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep. And that's the thing. When it comes to relationships, it's between you and that person. And it's like, cool if you want to share this and that, anywhere or with people, but don't share shit with people because people always have their opinion of your relationship. They want to always put their input. They always want to be, hey, that person shouldn't be doing this. Da, 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 da. It's like, I'm sorry, I didn't ask you for your opinion.
Right.
I just came here to like tell you a little something. I didn't need a response back. If I need a response back, I'll ask you. But I just wanted to share this little tidbit of what's going on in my life with you. And that's the thing. It's like the moment you start sharing too much of your relationship with the world, that's when shit starts going left sometimes, because again, people always have their opinion of what a relationship should look like. And it's like you said, it's between you and your person. You guys make it look like how you want it to look like. If you have, there's times where I'm looking at, people dating and stuff like that. And they're, hey, I'm looking for a man to be the provider, to be this, to be that, to provide this, to bring this to the table. And then you ask that person like, but what are you bringing to the table? Oh, I'm just bringing my beauty and, my independence. And it's like, that's not how relationships work. The fuck? Yeah. So again, it's like that perception provided on social media of what a relationship is. And it's like, okay, and you have your traditional relationships, and then you have your non-traditional relationships, people in open relationships, people in closed relationships, people in relationships with multiple partners. And it's like, again, whatever floats your boat that you like, that's your relationship. Don't push that onto other people. Don't push your viewpoint of what a relationship is onto other people.
Right. I think there's a time and a place. Like when people ask for advice, then sure, like you do get to say what you think then, but really, like, there's so many fucking people on this planet, and the idea that like one type of relationship is gonna be the type of relationship for all of us is really silly. And so if we just like think like, okay, that's none of my fucking business, and they get to do whatever they want to do, but also like it's none of my fucking business to tell people how I think a relationship should be run. Like, I don't need to go into people's businesses and say, hey, that's wrong. Hey, don't do that. Like, hey, that's going to blow up in your face. Because, like, why does it matter? At the end of the day, like, a part of this experience is getting to, like, love people. And sometimes, like, feeling really shitty about it. Sometimes just loving people and feeling really great about it. And if I step into that equation and I say, like, hey, don't do it that way, then I'm limiting somebody's experience because I think I know better. And that's just silly because I don't know shit. Nobody knows anything.
I agree. And everybody's experience is different in a relationship.
Oh, yeah. And even what you said earlier, like about this girl who like doesn't bring anything to the relationship, like there's so many people on this planet that there's even people for that type of dynamic. Like, there's people who fit that relationship dynamic and they like that. They enjoy that. And so I just think, like, do whatever the fuck you want. And, like, don't tell other people how or how not to do it. Because, like, there's so much missing context, missing information. The idea that we're all the same, so we should all do everything the same is so silly.
And the thing with relationships too, especially as you are looking to move forward with the person you're dealing with, as far as like marriage goes and a lifetime partner, your family relationship jumps into that as well.
Yeah.
So your family relationship, like, a lot of people have healthy relationships in their family. Some people don't. That dynamic, again, everybody's dynamic is different. You don't know the backstory. Just accept it how you accept it. A lot of people just like, oh, I hate when I don't see my person have a good relationship with their mom or their dad. And it's like, you don't know the person's situation, so you can't just say that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I understand you don't like it, but it happens.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and you know, it's not easy for that person as well. And I could say that like as a person who doesn't have a good relationship with their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's funny cuz like I will say this, like my boyfriend has a great relationship with his parents, and there's definitely areas of improvement just like there would be for all of us in all of our
Mm-hmm.
relationships, but I don't really talk to my parents as much. Like, I don't talk to my dad pretty much at all. And my mom, like, we kind of figure it out as we go, is really how I can detail that.
Okay.
Um, and so I think, like, honestly, like, it's not even like it was easy for me as that person. Like, it was hard because every time I would look at my boyfriend and his family, I would just think, like, damn, like, they have it together and I don't. And it
Mm.
bothered me, and it bothered me because like again, here is this romanticized and like stereotypical version of what a father daughter, a mother daughter relationship is supposed to look like based off
Mm-hmm.
of media,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have that. And so it made me feel bad just to not even have that. And I think if my boyfriend felt like shitty about that, or he made me feel shitty about that, then like I would feel even worse.
Yeah. So you know, it's like we try not to compare ourselves and our families to other people, but it happens. Sometimes it happens, like, you know, unconsciously. Like it just happens, and it's like,
Yeah.
damn, you have a great relationship with that person. Damn, I wish I had a great relationship with my parents, or I had a great relationship with these people. And it's like, fuck, like that again. That's not for everybody. There's a reason why your relationship isn't the way it is, and sometimes you just gotta accept it. Sometimes, yes, it can become better if you work on it, but it's a two-way street. It's not just one person. It's
Also,
it, go
like
ahead.
some people aren't just they're just not ready to be those people in a relationship.
Yep.
Like when I talk about my parents, like I can really pinpoint on my relationship with my dad because like we just don't we really tried to get along, but we don't. And like it's because we have these different views on life. And so I could spend my time talking to him and like getting frustrated every time we talk and like hating his viewpoints and making that make me angry, or I can just respect the person that he is, respect the dynamic that we just have now because it's better for the both of us. Like
Mm-hmm.
this space is actually better for our relationship because when we're together and when we're interacting, like it's not good. We don't get along.
Mm.
And it doesn't like fit this traditional mold of how a father and daughter should interact with each other,
Mm-hmm.
but it's probably the healthiest thing for us because like I don't feel the need to like look at and criticize his life, and he doesn't really feel the need to do that for me either because we just stay out and respect that like that person's gonna go be a person over there.
Mm. I mean, and, again, it's like, you know, so, this person raised you. In most cases, like, people didn't have good parents that raised them, and once they became adults, it was like, I don't necessarily need you in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, people are always just like, you know, blood is thicker than water, and it's like, no,
Maybe like physically, but not,
yeah,
not
like, no.
really.
If this person is bringing trauma into my life, why do I want them around?
Yeah.
I understand it's the person that gave you birth, or your siblings, your whatever. But if they brought trauma into your life, why keep them around?
We try because like people tell us like that's our family, that's your parents. And it's the same thing with like romantic relationships as well. Like, well, you're engaged, or well, you've been together for so long. Like that doesn't mean anything. If someone could be with you for so long and then turn around and intentionally fuck you over,
Yep.
that person doesn't love you. And it's okay because we're all people fucking up all the time, but also
Yep.
like have some damn self-respect, and you don't have to just like allow that person in your life because they're your blood.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree, and it's like, again, like, it takes two to tango. It definitely takes two people to do everything that's needed to keep something afloat.
Yeah.
But if one person is making it worse than it needs to be, then what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point of, maintaining that relationship?
I agree. I 100% agree, because some people,
And that's on all levels, like friendship, relationship, family relationships. It's just, what's the point if you're feeling negative about a situation and it's not, deemed the social media appropriate way to do things, then what's the point?
Yep. Because there's these ideas, like, society creates these ideas of, like, supposed to do this, supposed to do that. And then when we don't, like, they just blast it online.
Yeah, I agree. They immediately blast it on. That's what, everybody's safe space is going online and posting bullshit. Posting bullshit.
And
like,
it's crazy about the internet, especially when we talk about this stuff, is like, and I was talking about this with my friend the other day. If you're looking for something, you're gonna find it. The internet is so vast and so many people contribute to it that, like, if you think your partner is cheating on you and you go online and you start looking for that shit, like, you're gonna find some shit. And not that, like, your partner's cheating on you, but I bet, like, some people are probably trying to reach out to them. And, like, you're gonna go on online forums that say, like, well, they can delete stuff and they can hide it from you. Like, you're gonna find what you look for when you start going down the avenues of the internet. And so, like, I think you gotta pick intentionally good things. Like, how do I build healthy relationships with my romantic partner? How do I build healthy relationships with my family? And once you start going down those avenues, you will get that information.
Yeah, I agree. And it's so, back to our our initial discussion about what are relationships. what are relationships? And I mean, I this seems like this is gonna be like I'm probably gonna have like a part 2 and a part 3 maybe of this. But for you, Sam, what do you consider a relationship? Whether it be traditional or versus non-traditional, what do you consider a relationship, I guess, on all those 3 levels that we talked about?
You mean like
friendship,
yeah,
being with somebody, boyfriend, girlfriend, and then like the family relationship?
I guess I just think it's like, it's a conversation. It's an interaction. It's, like, I could have a relationship with some random person on the street as long as I, like, interact with them. And I think that where it gets, like, really specific is when we choose to keep having a relationship with that person. And it's, like, two-sided, right? Because, like, me and you, for example, like, we have a great friendship, and that's like you contributing on your end and me contributing on my end on a consistent basis. And when we don't, like, we check in. You check in with me all the time if I don't deliver shit to you, and I check in with you too. And, like, I think that is very normal. Like, that's a very, like, normal version of a relationship. Can you hear those dogs barking in the background?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, they're terrible. But also, like, romantically, like, it's a choice. And I'll say this cheesy thing, but I really think that, like, being in a relationship with somebody, like, requires a level of respect, and it requires a level of, like, love. And not like, ooh, love, hearts, but like in the sense that love is a choice. And what it means is, like, we get to know somebody so much that we have to choose to keep them or not keep them in our life. And that's because we learn the good things and we learn bad things. I learned, like, I don't know, in my relationship, for example, like, I learned a lot of good things in the beginning of the relationship, and then as we continued, I learned some bad things, and I learned more bad things. But also, like, there was bad things about me. And the choice to stay together is us being in a relationship. it's that conscious decision that's like, okay, I know this person is flawed because they're a human being, but am I going to continue to be with them when there's like a sea of other people on this planet?
Yeah.
That was a long explanation. Sorry.
Nah, that was solid. That was solid. Nah, that was definitely solid. It's, like you said, it's all about reciprocation, putting in the effort, and being honest, being willing to invest in those relationships.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't pour water into an empty cup if somebody's like, not reciprocating the same exact thing. And people talk about, like you said before, people talk about 50-50 relationships. It's not always like that.
No.
It should be 100.
Yes.
Maybe one day I'm able to put in 80, and and you're able to put in that extra 20 that I need,
right,
to keep the relationship together. And maybe dynamic may switch where, okay, I can't put in 80 today, but I can put in 40, and you're putting in the 60. So it's always like a back and forth type thing, but
right.
you're both still putting 100% in.
Right. When we come together, there's 100%, and that's the intention. And you know what? Sometimes I would even say, like, some days, like, maybe I only have 40 and my boyfriend only has 40. Like, are we not going to be together because we don't have 100% that day? No.
Yeah.
We're going to think about it, and we're going to say, like, hey, we both had a tough day. Like, maybe we need some space. Maybe I need to go do something, like get an ice cream or some shit. And, like, he needs to just play video games for the rest of the day. Like, but it's this idea that, like, you're going to pick that person to continue doing life with. And, like, you're going to keep picking them every single time the opportunity arises. You know what's funny is, like, I remember when I met you at Tax City, like a bajillion years ago, I introduced myself to you, and then I introduced Jeff to you when he came around, and you were like, oh, your husband. And I was like, no, he's my boyfriend. And you were like, okay, your husband. And I was like, I don't even know you. But I liked that, like, it really made me feel like you and I could be friends, because immediately you respected my relationship, which a lot of people don't do. Like, a lot of people are shitty about, and I really
the community that we play in for our little hobby that we do. It's bunch of nerds that act like they never see women before, and then when they do see one, they're just like, oh my god, it's a girl. It's a girl. She can't be in a relationship. She can't be. I don't respect it. I'm a try to step up and say hi. Like, what?
Right. I liked it though. Like, immediately you were just like, oh, hello, husband. Like, you were just very, like, direct about it. And I was like, I fuck with this guy. Like, he's funny. And, like, and honestly, Jeff and I are still together. So, like, it works. It made sense. And, like, and I like it. I think it's a good dynamic.
Nah, that's solid. So, as we come to a close here, where can people find you at?
Well, you can find me doing our silly little hobby at Airsofter Sam on pretty much every platform.
Well, thank you for popping up on this episode, but that's it for this one. You guys can find me on all social media platforms at Random Guy Kev, and my website at randomguykev.com. Don't forget to check in, and I will catch you guys on the next one.